The Swedish government has evaluated its controversial 1999 law, which prohibits the purchase of sexual services. The report reveals the legislation has succeeded in its intended goals.
Well, first of all, we can see that we halve the street prostitution. There is no evidence for an arena change where street prostitution went somewhere else. But the important thing, and what is done in the report, is that they compare with the trends in Norway and Denmark, and due to those figures you can see that Sweden is coming well out of that. So the summary is that Sweden has a good result from this legislation and the work that is done.
We say it has achieved the goals that we put up, but this does not mean we are there, because there is no more prostitution. And that, of course, is something we have to work on for many more years. But the effects that were hoped for, we can see. Also, when it comes to internet prostitution, the amount of such prostitution is smaller in Sweden than in Denmark and Norway, which means also here that the ban would have helped us not to have an increase similar to those countries.
Like the rest of Europe, Sweden is tackling a rising problem in human trafficking for sexual purposes, another area where such legislation has acted as a deterrent.
We could see that from the very beginning, actually, that criminals did not choose Sweden as the first country to bring women to. And we do this through telephone interception, when criminals discuss among themselves and where to bring the victims. They very often pointed out that Sweden was a very bad market for these activities. And they preferred countries where they could send women out in street prostitution or in brothels.
In recent years, Sweden has called for more international cooperation in questions of trafficking to great effect. In 2009, both Norway and Iceland adopted similar legislation, and interest in the Swedish model has spread.
The most interesting I saw during the Swedish presidency of the European Union was that when we were discussing trafficking for sexual abuse, the question on demand was put on the table, and it was put into different statements and so forth, which is exactly what we're doing in Sweden. We take focus from the prostitutes to the buyers, and I think that's important, and it's interesting to see that more countries are going in the same direction.
The report proposes a number of new measures, including raising the maximum penalty for buyers from 6 to 12 months, in addition to improved coordination on a national level.
What we ask for is that there should be a center in Sweden that will take the full responsibility to develop this further so that this can be even more effective in the future.